Welcome back to Books and Bites, your daily shortcut to wisdom. Quick, fun, and full of life-changing ideas.
I like that.
Continuing from our deep dive on the Empyrean, today we're going into the fiery depths of Part 2, Iron Flame.
Oh.
Remember that ending of the first book?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
The rebellion, the looming Venan threat, and Violet's brother Brennan is not only alive,
Right.
but leading the charge.
Yeah, it was a total game changer, and Iron Flame just throws us right back into the thick of it. You know, we find Violet back at Basgiath War College, but things are far from normal. There's this tension, like this sense that everything is about to just boil over.
Oh, I bet. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. We have a new antagonist on the scene. The intimidating Major Varish.
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal?
Well, he's not just some, stern instructor. Varish really embodies that oppressive system within Basgiath. He's suspicious of Violet from the start. He uses these brutal training tactics.
Oh, wow.
And he seems to have this personal vendetta against her.
So not exactly the mentor figure you want in a Dragon Rider Academy.
Right.
But amidst this pressure cooker, Violet's also dealing with the emotional fallout of everything that happened
Right. Exactly.
at Aethabine.
Remember, she's juggling this strained, long-distance relationship with Xaden, carrying the weight of secrets she can't share with anyone. And, trying to survive this brutal training regime.
Yeah.
But this is where Rebecca Yarros does a brilliant job. Violet's physical limitations are constantly highlighted. It makes her the ultimate underdog we can all root for.
It makes you wonder if all that training was just a way to break her.
Yeah.
But then we have this other layer of mystery brewing.
Oh, yeah.
The failing wards and the enigmatic First Six.
Absolutely. And this is where the world building gets really fascinating. We get glimpses into the history of the wards, their significance, and their connection to the very foundation of this world. Violet teams up with this daring scribe named Jasenia, who risks everything to help uncover the truth hidden in these ancient journals.
Talk about high stakes. And I'm guessing this quest for answers doesn't exactly go smoothly.
Not at all. It leads to this heart-stopping sequence where Violet is captured and tortured by Varish.
Oh, my God.
It's brutal. It's a real test of her resilience and her cunning, and it forces her to confront the darker side of this world.
It seems like everyone in this world is working with a hidden agenda. And if we're talking about turning points, that mass exodus from Basgiath to join the rebellion in Eurasia has to be up there.
It's huge. It's this pivotal moment that shifts the entire power dynamic. We see riders choosing loyalty over blind obedience and risking everything for a cause they believe in. And it all culminates in that epic battle at Basgiath where the truth about Jack Barlow is finally revealed.
Oh, Jack Barlow, speaking of antagonists, I have to know what became of him after the first book. His transformation was kind of teased in the last episode, right?
Let's just say it's not your typical villain arc. It's a twist that plays with your expectations and forces you to rethink everything you thought you knew about him. But what truly had me reeling was General Sorrengail, Violet's mother.
Oh, I know that sacrifice. It was heartbreaking. To give your life to activate the wards and save countless others, talk about a gut punch, but it really speaks volumes about the themes of duty and sacrifice that are woven throughout this series.
Absolutely. It's a testament to Yarros' ability to craft characters that feel so real, so deeply human that their losses become our own. And speaking of sacrifice, we have to talk about Xaden. His desperate act to protect Violet leads to this transformation that changes him forever.
His choice to become a Venan to cross that line is a major turning point, not just for him, but for his relationship with Violet. It raises so many questions about their future and what it means to love someone who's essentially become the enemy.
Yeah, it's this brilliant exploration of the complexities of love and sacrifice. Xaden is so torn between his duty to the rebellion and his love for Violet. It makes you wonder, how far would you go to protect the one you love? Would you risk becoming the very thing you're fighting against?
Yeah, it really does make you think. And it's not just, about romantic love. Think about the shattered trust Violet experiences as she uncovers all these hidden agendas from those she once admired.
Right. Yeah, it's like this constant tug of war between loyalty and betrayal. It makes you question every motive, every alliance.
Yeah.
It really keeps you on the edge of your seat. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about the characters themselves.
Okay.
Violet's journey from this fragile cadet to this, formidable dragon rider is remarkable.
It is, and it's fascinating because it's not this straightforward power fantasy kind of transformation. It's messy and it's painful. It forces her to confront her own vulnerabilities.
Right.
Her intelligence and her resilience shine through not just in these grand battles, but in the quiet moments of reflection and strategy. Yeah, those quiet moments really make her relatable. She's
Yeah.
not like this invincible heroine. She's figuring things out, making mistakes and learning from them.
Exactly. She's
Yeah.
flawed, she's human, and that's what makes her triumphs feel so real.
Yeah.
And speaking of complex characters, we have to talk about Xaden.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a compelling mix of duty and longing. His internal conflict is palpable.
Oh, you can feel the weight of the world on his shoulders, the impossible choices. It's heartbreaking, especially given his love for Violet. To think that his attempt to save her leads him down this path of becoming a Vanen.
It's like good intentions gone wrong.
Right.
It speaks to that theme of the corrupting nature of power. We see it in the Vanen, they're driven by this insatiable hunger. But we also see glimmers of it in the human world. Characters like Major Varish.
Varish is such a chilling embodiment of that. His cruelty, his thirst for control, the complete disregard for the well-being of his trainees. It's scary.
Yeah.
It reminds you that there's potential for darkness, even in those noble institutions.
And what's interesting is how Yarros uses him to expose the cracks in Basgiath's facade. He's not a lone wolf, he's a symptom. It makes you question the very foundation of this world and the systems of power.
It makes you realize that the lines between good and evil are rarely clear-cut.
Right.
There's so much gray area.
Yeah.
Ambiguity. And that ambiguity extends to the magic system itself. The wards, the Vinen, the way power is wielded. It's also intricate and layered.
Absolutely. Yarros doesn't just throw magic around, it's like a plot device. She weaves it into this world, explores its history, its limits, the ethical dilemmas it creates. World building at its finest.
It makes you want to spend hours dissecting the lore, piecing together the clues, figuring how it works.
It's immersive.
It is, and it keeps readers coming back for more. But let's not forget the emotional depth Yarros brings to the story, those gut-wrenching sacrifices, the quiet moments of tenderness. She captures it all.
The whole spectrum.
Yeah, it's that balance that makes Iron Flame so compelling. It leaves you breathless, heartbroken, but ultimately hopeful.
It stays with you.
It does. Long after you've turned that last page, you ponder the themes of power, loyalty, and sacrifice.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. It's a must-read. For any fantasy fan who appreciates a story that delves into the complexities of the human heart. In a richly imagined world.
And for those who haven't started yet, buckle up.
Yeah.
Iron Flame is a wild ride.
Yeah.
You'll want to clear your schedule for this one.
And Iron Flame does such a good job of laying the groundwork for the next installment.
Mm-hmm.
The Onyx Stone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're left with so many questions, so many threads just dangling.
Absolutely. The ending is like this perfect blend of resolution and open-endedness. Like, we get some closure, but it throws a whole new set of challenges and mysteries in the mix.
Right, what's going to happen with Xaden now? Can he even control this new power, or will it just consume him?
Mm-hmm.
And how is this going to affect his relationship with Violet? Talk about a forbidden romance.
Oh my gosh, I know, right? And what about the rebellion? They achieved this huge victory, but the war is far from over. Navarre's true intentions are still kind of shrouded in mystery, and we know there are these forces working behind the scenes that we haven't even seen yet.
And then there's this whole mystery surrounding the Onyx Stone itself. What is it? What kind of power does it hold? How's it going to play into this conflict? Yarros has sprinkled these little breadcrumbs throughout Iron Flame, and I am dying to see where they lead.
Oh, me too. It's such a mark of a skilled storyteller, isn't it? To weave these threads of intrigue and anticipation, leaving you desperate to know what happens next. And I have a feeling the Onyx Stone is going to be even more explosive than Iron Flame.
Oh, I'm ready for the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
But beyond the action and romance, I think what really makes this series so special is its exploration of these complex themes. We've talked about loyalty and betrayal, the corrupting nature of power, but Iron Flame also really looks at the idea of redemption.
Yes. It resonates throughout the story. Whether it's Violet kind of grappling with the consequences of her choices or Xaden seeking to atone for his transformation, it makes you question if anyone is really beyond redemption, even those who've committed these horrible acts.
It adds that layer of moral ambiguity, elevates it beyond a simple good versus evil. And I think it's something that's going to continue to be explored in the Onyx Stone as those lines between right and wrong get even more blurred.
Totally.
It reminds you that even in a world of dragons and magic, the most compelling stories are the ones that grapple with, those complexities of the human heart. And that's what Rebecca Yarros does.
She's so good at that.
So good at it. So if you're looking for a fantasy series that will keep you on the edge of your seat, challenge your assumptions, and make you fall in love with characters who are as flawed as they are heroic, then look no further than the Empyrean.
Yes, start with Fourth Wing, then dive straight into Iron Flame.
Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Get your copy from the link in the description and subscribe to Books and Bites and stay tuned for Part 3, The Onyx Stone.